I was 23 when I first picked up the guitar.
Okay.
First thing I will say, leave the guitar where it is.
Here we go, Al. All right, welcome to another episode of Uncle Natchet's Woodshed, my podcast series I call In the Woodshed. And today I'm talking with a very good friend of mine, a very old friend, and I won't bring up dates so we don't give away our ages. But me and this guy have known each other for quite a while. This guy is probably one of the hardest working musicians in punk rock today. He's played in a bunch of punk rock bands like Safety First Gonzalez and Rebel Babe, and now he is doing his solo thing, and it is called Red at Night. This guy has been in the music business for quite some time, is based in Berlin, Germany. I met him in his hometown in Riva la Garda in Italy, but he now lives in Germany. So most of the stuff he has been doing has been in the EU, but as of recent, this guy has been going over to the US a lot. He's a fantastic songwriter. I mean, he eats, breathes, sleeps. He's just that guy, that musician. I brought him on here to maybe talk to us, try to pick his brain a little bit, find out what he does and how he does his thing. This is my friend Al, better known as Red at Night. Welcome to the Woodshed, my friend.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for this amazing introduction. I haven't paid for this, nobody paid anybody.
That's right. We just paid each other in friendship.
Exactly. That's all that matters to me.
I wanted to start off talking, I kind of mentioned it in the intro, you're hardest working guy in punk rock. And I say that because I follow your Instagram and I'll have all these links on here. And it seems like you're always on tour. You're always running around. You're always doing something. You got albums coming out. You're doing videos. You're doing shows. And one of the things I wanted to kind of start this conversation off with a question is how do you book all these shows and how are you on these tours and what are you doing every day that gets you out? Because I see you working everywhere, man.
Yeah, well, booking the shows is tough business. I'll do it myself now. At least for Europe, I'm doing it myself. The first shows, local shows, and here and there, it was just like, me asking. And then the first proper tour that I did in 2023 to support my first release, Empty Seats, was a friend of mine, Francie, that she books a lot of acoustic stuff, folk, Americana, and all of that. And she was kind enough to book my first tour. And then I got some contacts there. She helped me book also the second tour I did with our friend, Mark Prince. We did a 3 weeks tour together and she booked the whole tour. And then she gave me all the contacts. She's like, oh, feel free to use them, book your stuff, do your thing. I do that. I made some friends along the ways, hit them up. And I'm happy to work. This year, still with Mark Prince, we got 4 tours together between last year and this year. So this year we had like 25 shows in Europe on 28 days. And we play Italy like 9 shows. I was able to get all contacts to make it happen, and nowadays I just try to do it myself.
And you were talking about that, but like I was curious, now you've been over to the US. What are those differences? Are there any differences at all? Or I know Europe's kind of its own thing as a continent, each country, I guess, is a little different, but is there a major difference on that side of the Atlantic?
Oh, it's a complete different thing. It's like 2 separate tours. Like it's not even in the same. The main thing, as you as well know, because you tour both as well. So that's how we met. But you're on tour with your
right
band and you can book the shows for you guys, and then we became friends. In Europe, most of the time, if not all the time, you get food, drinks, accommodation, you get paid. Worst case scenario is like donations on Monday,
like a
Tuesday. You got like these weird days that are better than a day off because you also get a sleeping place. So the venue or the bar or whatever you're playing, they were like, okay, there is not much money. We got donations or tickets.
Pass the hat around. Right.
Yeah. But you got a place to stay, you got food, and you got drinks. So you're like, well, for sure. I play my song, maybe I sell some merch, maybe I make some money. And that's one thing. What in the States, that's not a thing at all. So like being paid is already like, people are generous. No, I gotta say, like,
Right.
people that come to the show, they tip well, they buy merch. So that's very nice. The
But
expenses,
forget about the accommodations, forget about that dinner.
yeah, you need to meet somebody nice at the venue that they let you stay with them, or you have some friends where you can crash at that night, like it happened in Austin, like Chicago or Wichita for us, or other places here and there. Otherwise, you need to get a motel or a hotel, or I don't know. I'm too old to sleep in the car or in a parking lot. Like,
Oof. Yeah, it's rough.
no, I like, sleep is one of the most important thing on tour.
It is. It
So
is.
I really,
The one thing you never get enough of.
exactly. And also the drives are eternal in the States. Like,
You spend 3 hours from Germany, you could be in Czech or
sure.
whole other. That's a good point. I didn't think about it.
Like, we had some 9 hours drive. So, like, I didn't drive in the States, to be fair. Mark Allen did all the driving and the 2 tours we did. But, just also sitting next to the driver, I'm the kind of person who cannot sleep in unless it's a bed or a couch. I'm also a tall guy. And, when you travel in a
Oh yeah, I
car,
should have mentioned that too. He's well over 6 feet. Well over 6 feet.
so traveling in a car, which is loaded with stuff, you're like, crunch in, so you get out and you're like, you need yoga session to be ready to
Hmm.
to go on stage or
Well, and
something.
and it's kind of like surprising how much energy it takes to drive in a car or ride in a car. You think you're sitting there not doing anything, but it really does take a lot out of you. And then you have
Yeah.
to feel yourself out of this vehicle and then start the process of playing, which is not like you get out of the car and start playing. It's like hours of setting up and doing this and then waiting. And yeah, I hear you. One thing though
Hurry
you
up and
mentioned,
wait.
it's always hurry up and wait. Always. We talk about that. But one of the things that so you're my second guest in this podcast series. My first guest was my friend Bear Ryan, and she was talking about kind of what you're touching on about community and a tribe. One of the things that she was advising was to just go watch shows, be on the scene. That's how we met as well. But I also see you kind of assembling this community around you. You already mentioned Mark Allen Prince, our friend. I know you guys do a bunch of tours together, but I see you like orbiting around guys like Lenny Lashley and Billy Liar and Matt Charette. So you're kind of getting this like community of guys around, and these are guys from like all over the world. And I know y'all are switching shows and sharing, but that seems to be kind of a big thing with you that I like, is how you kind of create this little community of players around you. You guys are all swapping and sharing. How important is that to you?
That's the most important thing. I like try to play with musicians that I really like and respect, and I think they're great, and they obviously make me better because you can only
Yeah.
learn from anybody, and yeah, like, with Mark Allen, we did now 4 tours, 2 in Europe, 2 in the States. I learned a lot about stage presence. He's good at that,
Mm.
very good.
He's
So
got stage presence. Right.
he got
Right.
stage presence.
Uh-huh.
He's the
He
guy.
does.
With Billy and Lenny, I'm gonna go on tour like next week. Actually, I'll join the tour.
Okay.
So it's gonna be my third tour this year. So
And that's in Europe, right? Third this year.
yes,
Hardest working man in rock and roll. I'm telling you. That's why I got him. It was actually hard to get him on this podcast. We had to like get it at the right time. This guy's so busy, and I love that about you.
it's
You
like,
actually you inspire me quite a bit.
yeah, well, that's very kind of you to say, man. And, like, you did with me too, and you still do. Like, with all the music, all the advice on your channel, and all your experience that you're sharing with everybody. It's very cool.
Well, we're talking about community, and one of the
And
things
that's
that
part of
I
it,
think
I
that
guess.
yeah, it is. And that's
Yeah.
like one of the things that when I was thinking about my channel, one of the things I can bring are people that I know, like you and like Bear. And I'm going to have more guests kind of tell their stories and their advice. And that's one of the open-ended questions I wanted to throw your way since we're here. Let's go back in time, okay? You and me. Let's go back in time to 18-year-old Al, or wherever it was where Al, I'm not sure the age that you started playing music, but let's go back to that time. Now you're Al now. You can tell this guy anything you want. What are the gems? Maybe the top one or two things that you would sit with yourself, your younger self, and say, hey man, let's talk. Before you start this music business, let me teach you this. What do you got?
So I was 23 when I first picked up the guitar. So that was my first approach to it. First thing I will say, leave the guitar where it is, just follow another business. Um, I will always say, like, play every day. Try to cut some time to play every day your instrument, vocal, bass, guitar. In my case, it was guitar. And then later on, out of need, I start singing. Like, we had a singer, but was whatever. We needed somebody left, and then we needed somebody to sing. I was like, oh, I can yell in a microphone. And then I will tell him, it's going to be hard. It's going to be like a lot of downs. But when you get those couple of ups, it's going to be great. You're going to be feeling yourself, and music is going to like really feel you, like your soul is going to be full and you got stories to tell. So, these things, you cannot buy them. You just, if you practice hard enough and if you believe in what you're doing, keep doing it and you'll get somewhere. And keep practicing, keep believing in yourself, surround yourself with good people, community. Yeah. And also very important, go to other band shows and support opener. Like, in a sense, just don't go for the main act. Go, if you can, go for the opener of the opener of the opener. Because one day you might be that person and having somebody there will be great for you. And you never know, it might be the next bigger act, like maybe you saw it were like 10 people and you got a chat. And then like in 2 years, it's like 1,000 people. I don't know. It's always great to support also openers.
True.
Yeah.
I'd even say from like even a selfish point of view, there's been some openers that I've gone to in shows that were like amazing. They're bands that I liked better than actually like the headliner that night. Yeah, even from a selfish point of view, you never know what you're going to get in these bills.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, I was looking through some videos trying to, come up with different content ideas. So it's going back to my past catalog and I had one video on there and I'll have a link up here for it, talking about the death of the ego. And really kind of the whole video was about these spinal tap moments that we have. And we've all had them. These moments on tour where it is this soul crushing, horrible death of your ego because you're out there on the road. And well, it's funny now, but at the time it is brutal. But I wanted to ask you, do you have any good spinal tap moments that you had to fight through where your ego just got beat up?
Either you have them or you're lying. So, well, the first one, I'm talking just about the Red at Night times.
Okay, sure.
Because like with a band, I think it's different. You are all together. So it's fun right away somehow.
Right.
Like.
Yes, you're sharing the misery.
Exactly. When you are alone on the road, it's like, that's tough. So it was my first European tour. I did it as Red at Night. I played the first show, Tattoo Studio in Minden, and there were a
Minden,
lot
Germany.
of people. Yeah, Minden, Germany. Yeah. I'm talking European tour in Germany. And it was great. It was great. My family was there. My sister lived there. She came with her daughter, her husband. And it was great. People were buying merch, and there were like probably 20 people, on a Tuesday. Wow, that's great. Super pumped, it was great. Next show, it was a Wednesday night. A lot of bands play there. It's a small but super nice bar venue. It was the stage with the red curtains in the back. And I'm like, yeah, Red at Night, red curtains. Yeah, I go up, sound check, great. And then time is passing. Nobody's coming in the door. It's just me and the bartender. And we're just talking. It's like, yeah, maybe a tough night, Wednesdays. I'm like, yeah, sure. Maybe somebody's come, maybe not. Well, let's see. I put out my merch, everything's neat. At one point, it's time to go on stage. You cannot wait no more. Otherwise, I play like less than half an hour. I go on stage and there is nobody there. So the bartender came out of the bar and stood I was at the bar, basically, and I was standing on stage in front. There was nobody with my guitar, and I start playing my songs. And I have this image in my head, like when I'm looking through the mic and there is nobody. I'm like, and I think there was nobody for a few songs. And some people came in, like, I don't know, there were 6, 7 people. You know, these people that just sit at the bar, they don't even look around, but they clap their hands when the song is over. So, like, okay, well, so I was there, and me, the bartender, and then some strangers came in, and that was pretty tough. Okay, this is how it begins. No worries. It's fine. One day it's going to be much better, and you will think about this. And yeah, and the second one, which I didn't take very well, I have to
Okay.
say.
I want to hear it. Yeah, good.
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't take it
This
very
sounds like a good one.
well. Now I think it's fine now, but I was mad at the moment. As in the States, in this last tour we did with Mark Holland. So we basically drove. I mean, when I say we, I mean Mark Holland. I'm just there in the car.
You were there though.
Yeah, but I know
Yeah,
that
you were
then he
there.
listened to this and it comes like, who's we? So we drove from Nashville to New Orleans. All right.
Oh wow.
Yes, it's about 9 hours on the road, I think. We arrive at the venue, probably one of the best venues that I saw in the States. Cool venue, big stage, big PA. Nobody's there, obviously. It's early, I thought. It's Sunday. It's whatever, you know. Apparently, nobody knew that we were playing there. There was no promos on the walls.
Man.
Check the Instagram, there is nothing. The bartender didn't know we were supposed to play. The local artist didn't show up until almost the end of the set. So I played first, then Mark Holland, and then almost at the end of his show, he showed up. And he didn't ring anybody, you know. It's my time to go. I'm on stage. I'm like, you know what? The hell with this. I play my set, but I play all the song different version. You know, I play them soft. You know, usually I'm a little bit more up tempo, a little bit more loud singing. I was just like, no. Really didn't want to use any energy on it. I was so mad. I was already like kind of tired and mad in general. Like that nobody. I arrived there and there is nobody. I'm like, it's New Orleans. I really want to play. I really want to, yeah, you know. And then
And
I
you
was like,
drove 9 hours, 9 or 10 hours.
yes. Now I'm thinking about that. I'm like, yeah, I overreact. Maybe, you know, like you should just like go there, play, do your thing, whatever, you know, like it's an extra practice if you want to, and you're in New Orleans. It was like also week number 3. So it was a 4-week tour. This was week number 3.
If that's show number 2, cool.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
But after like 3 weeks, it's like that constant on the road, and then that's like a pretty good solid time to get hit with that.
So I think that also brought me way down to earth. But then again, I was like, dude, you are in New Orleans playing, you are on the bill, you're playing, you know.
I like that perspective though that you brought up, that it's like another practice. I think that's a great piece of advice that you have there. Look at it as like it's another practice. Well, if nobody's there, then nobody's going to see you screw up when you try to do a song a different way, or try a new song you've never done before, or try that new backflip you're working on, or what, you know, what, like Mark Allen probably does backflips, you know, he's got that stage presence. So it's like, I guess that's a good way to look at it. Those people that show up at the bar and don't even pay attention to you, I call those IKEA shows, because you're really just your furniture, you know, like you're just like a chair or a lamp. No one really knows, like basically. A jukebox. Yeah, really. Totally. Just background music, which
background music.
It's a whole other, what did that do for you? Like how you went through the suck. What did it do for you as an artist? It didn't destroy you because you're going on tour next week. So
definitely not. It made me sad at the moment. Kind of sad of like, oof, gonna be a long, long way. But on the other hand, I was like, you know what? I'm on the road right now. I'm on the road. I'm privileged to be able to do this. Well, it sucks today, but keep your head high, and then you'll see next time it's gonna be better. Keep doing it. Like, you know, like it just pushes you to also be better, maybe as a musician, but also as a person. It humbles you a little bit, or maybe makes you appreciate it more. I don't know. It makes you more human. It makes you grow as a person, especially, and they humble you, and I think that's also good. You need some of those.
But you're right. Like if you do go through that horribleness, and you made it through, and you're still playing shows, so
yeah.
Let me give you That's what we do. All right, you're still doing it. It didn't break you.
Nope.
Let's talk about your latest record with the radio on. I know because I have a copy of it that you created some physical media. You did some vinyl on that. This is a kind of a conversation I've been having about physical media and the new business model of streaming. What a model, what a business model. But here we are in this day and age. People are streaming. I think it's actually renting the music. You pay a rental fee and you have access to the whole, the whole catalog of stuff, but you never really own it. I don't know. What are your thoughts? We're kind of all just kind of stuck in this, this is the way it is now.
Yeah, well, it's a very delicate, hard topic to discuss. Actually, I released the live recording with Mark and Prince. Came out.
That's right.
That's on vinyl and not
Okay.
online. So
Not online. Okay.
not online, just on
Ooh, I kind of
vinyl.
like
So
that.
that's how
How about
we.
Bandcamp?
No,
Is it digital download? No, just physical. Okay.
only physical. If you want to listen to those songs, you need to get that vinyl, and they're almost all sold out. So that's pretty great. I'm
Rare
more for.
commodity.
I'm more for like physical music. When you have the songs inside with the lyric, I don't know, just the smell to having it, to playing it on, and it's great, I think. And from an artist's point of view, it's a source of support, like with the money from selling records, you can sustain yourself and do more stuff and tour more and pay the car, gas, whatever, you need so many streams to cover the same cost that you get by selling one record. And it's so good to have a record, like, I don't know, for me, like I'm a old head maybe, or I don't know. Streaming is, you need it as an artist, I think, to have it, because now is how they work with booking, because they see you got these monthly listeners, you got those streams, so it must be this level. I love physical. I will always release physical music. It was funny because with the radio on, I didn't want to have a physical 7-inch because I could not afford it. And then Emiliano from In Delirium's record, my Italian label, it was like, no, 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 no. This has to go out on vinyl. It's too good. Like, I really, really love it. I want to help you. I pay for it. And then you, like with the sales and all that, we cover and we see what's up. I'm so happy I follow his advice that I don't want to release any EP or record without physical music. If it's a single, like I have one song that I really love and I don't have a full record ready and maybe I want to put it out, maybe why not? How it works, the streaming, and you know it as well, is like you have to release singles and singles. So people keep listening to new stuff and you just mass produce these songs that are, you don't take the time for them,
Right.
It's like, okay, I need to release 4 songs this year, not a record. People will not listen to a record. So you release every month or every 2 months. So when the promotion for the first song is almost done, bam, comes the next single and then it goes back up and so on. I feel like also this digital music doesn't bring more full length or stuff, putting also a lot of pressure on artists to release something. Because if you don't release, then people forget about you.
Well, yeah, that band Velvet Sundown, though, they're able to crank out those albums.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, month after month, full-length albums, like nobody's business.
Yeah.
So, website. I see you have an actual legit website.
I do.
Websites or social media? Do you really, really, truly need a website, or can we just do everything on social media these days? What are your thoughts?
I think you still need a website because, like, I do have one. I need to do a little upgrade on the graphics.
We always need to fix. Yeah,
but like there are a lot of people also that are not on social media. So on the website, you can put all the streaming platforms where your music is on. You can put your social media and you can put the poster of the tours or of the shows. I have a big list with all my past shows. So if you want to see if I'm a touring person or what am I doing, there is a section with shows and then there is past shows and you see all my shows. You can scroll down and be like, oh, this guy been on the road a lot in the last 3 years.
I think that we just kind of uncovered a good advice gem right there. Having a link with all your past shows so that these bookers can go back and see you're not brand new, and see all the places that you played before. That's pretty.
They know that I also can deal with somebody who knows how to be on the road or to be on stage and all those things. And you can have your music on and just play it on the website. So you don't need a streaming service, maybe. I think social media is just like easier to make new connections, for example, to like booking shows, maybe like get the contacts, oh, like, can I follow you on Instagram? Yeah, sure. And then people support you, and then more fan base, maybe social media, while the website is more work oriented, I
Okay.
would say, because on my press kit, and I put the website because then you can go on in and listen to your favorite streaming service and look all those things that are put in an order. So you don't have to scroll to look what I'm up to. If I can do it, also website, and then me, I'm like, I don't even know where to put the hands on that, but it's very like
I
once
saw
you,
that you used Bandzoogle.
yeah, exactly.
Great. Great. I've talked to a number of people that use that. The thing about the websites that I like is that you have complete control over it. And it's always available if somebody really truly wants to find you. Social media, where you're kind of at the mercy of some middleman to decide whether or not you're seen by the people that want to follow you anyways, like an algorithm, or for any reason, the algorithm accidentally like takes your page down, because at any moment you can just be erased. As with a website, you kind of have your own control of your brand.
They want you to see is like for you, is not anymore who you're following or the content that you want
Yeah.
to see.
I was reading a really cool article. Actually, no, it was a YouTube video, and I will link it right here, or it'll be somewhere. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But it's Jack Conte, the guy, the CEO of Patreon. He did like a little opinion video for the New York Times. It was like they're online, and I'll link it. And it was pretty cool. He was talking about like rethinking the algorithm for these tech companies. Maybe that's easier said than done. Where though, because the way it used to be, and I'm sure you remember, is on these social media platforms, we had connection to fans, or you could be connected to these musicians and they would actually show up in your feed, as opposed to what they're just going to feed you whatever they think is going to keep, the most attention. It's more about that and less about actually connecting to these artists. But he had a really cool video about connecting artists and actually kind of working more towards paying the artist, or taking care of like that side of the equation other than ad revenue. Something can be better. I know it can be better, because you and I will buy vinyl, Al, and we love vinyl, and I get it. I've talked about it before, I think, on this channel, where I just love having something in my hands. You look at the liner notes and read the lyrics and see the pictures. But it's also the newest generation didn't grow, like, we have a nostalgia to that. We grew up with that, but the newer generation, they don't have that connection to that. And it's kind of like, this is where we're at.
Well, streaming channels are not bad as an idea, obviously, because you can listen to the music wherever you go. Everybody has internet on their phone. You can listen to music, like for a cheap price. As you say, you're renting it, basically, like 10, 11 euros per month, and then you can listen to whatever you want. The thing is, it's also like these big companies as Spotify are just managed by bad people. You as a musician, I think it's hard to take your music off because, as I said, it's too important in a sense when you are still in the medium low level of musicians. So I think that if they would pay more artists and use less AI to curate the algorithm, and more like paying people with taste to do that.
Paying people with taste. I don't think you and I are going to come up with the solutions. I
Nah.
do like the fact that we're having this conversation, and this isn't the first time you and I have talked about this. I think the last time I saw you in Barcelona, we had this exact same conversation, and I was like, man, I want to talk to you about this a lot more. We didn't have enough time then, and we don't have enough time now either. But just the fact that we're having this conversation, and I think not just us, but a lot of people. I know there's a startup in Austin, Texas right now. And I'm going to link it, but they are trying to create some sort of alternative to Spotify. in a way that pays artists. But I'm interested in that we're having these conversations. And I know if we are, then there's millions of other people having the same conversation. And I know there's something's got to change and something will change. I'm always optimistic, especially on this channel. Uncle Natchet's always optimistic about the
That's
future.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody has to be.
I am not anymore on Spotify. I switched to Tidal right now. It's better quality, better payments, and yeah.
Okay. Title. I'm going to link that. I always like to link everything we talk about in the description.
They had this nice 2 months trial for €2. And I was like, yeah, sure. I
Oh.
heard so much good stuff from the States and from here as well that people are like, it's a good option. And actually the quality is very good on there.
I think there's good things on the horizon. And one of the things I think is our strength, just to like wrap up this topic, is just that we are real. And if AI can make 1 million songs in a month and we can only make, 12 song albums in 6 months or whatever, however long it takes us to record an album, I think that makes us more rare. We are the platinum. AI is just sand on the beach. You get sand everywhere, but we're the platinum. That's what I say.
I love that.
One thing I wanted to ask you as well. You are a songwriter, last I heard. I remember visiting you in Berlin. You were showing me your new tunes and before you even read at night, you were showing me this new stuff that you were working on. And I loved your songwriting and I loved your lyrics and I loved your tunes. And so very, very much respect. I would love to hear about your songwriting process. What is Read at Night's songwriting process, if there is one?
There is more than one. I like to be inspired. I like to be inspired by other musicians, books, movies, and concerts. I really pay attention to words. I go to a concert, a band, or I read a book, and there is some like a sentence that just like, whoa, this is amazing. And then it just give me a click to start writing something about that. Something completely unrelated to that, but it just gives me the inspiration. Most of my songs are written like that with Red at Night. So like I have a new song, not recorded yet. It's called Early Poems. It's called like that because I was at a concert in Berlin. Somebody was walking around with a t-shirt and part of the sentence of the t-shirt was like early poems. I was like, wow, early poems. That's cool. Like, and then I went home and I started writing a song about how like tough guys with tattoos, like being tough, but when your heart get broken and then you start writing poems maybe, and like, so the whole thing started like that. And I just got 2 words out of a t-shirt at a concert. If I wasn't that concert, I will never have this song. I start reading a lot of books and you hear a song at a concert and it says like a word that I never hear or like, it's a rare word. And I'm like, oh God, that word. Oh, let me just write something about that word or something like that. And then it comes the lyrics. Or I'm on my couch at night and just practicing, playing some chords around or learning some song and then just like moving the chords around. You know how it is. Like you sit and just see what it goes and start mumbling some melodies. And when you mumble some melodies, maybe there is some word stuck in your head. And that word, oh, okay. And then you have a line. And then from there, sometimes it doesn't work, like I have thrown in the bin in the past 3 years. I don't know, maybe 10, 12 songs.
Sure. Okay. That sounds cool. Like your advice, I guess, is go live life, get inspired, see what comes out, or sit around and make yourself open to the muse and see what happens.
Yes. And listen to lyrics of other artists, read them. Like for me, that's very something that helped me getting better as a songwriter, I think. Like, because you see how they put the words maybe, or what words they use, or what, you don't have to copy what they're saying. You can just like see, and then they come into your, also because, I'm Italian and I'm singing in English and I'm writing in English. So for me, I miss some
I see.
words maybe, so sometimes a word is new to me, even if I know maybe the meaning but I don't use it maybe daily or something like that.
I thought that was a good piece of advice too, that you said is like, they say, if you want to be a writer, you need to read. I mean, bottom line, you just need to see how the language works. But I think that's the same thing for writing lyrics or even writing a story or anything. You try to put sentences together. I think that's a great idea to read. I know you read a lot. I think that's kind of a cool perspective to hear from you. And you read like a lot of classics. I saw your collection last time I was visiting you. And I think that's important. I think that's a great thing about you. And you can kind of tell in your lyrics, there's something to it where it has that depth to it. of a well-read man, a well-read gentleman.
Trying my best, trying my best. Songs are short stories anyway.
Mhm.
Like you have to make a little story, and I
They
don't
are.
know, like Tim Berry
They are.
says, verse, chorus, bridge.
Right.
Like
Right. Now you were somebody who has been on the road quite some time. And how many countries have you played, by the way? Have you you keep a number?
with Red at Night, I think is 11 countries.
Let's just say overall. Overall.
Overall, well, I think I cover most of them with Red at Night, maybe 3, 4 more. Like,
So 15 or so?
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. So
Because, yeah,
15
Europe,
countries. You've
like the
I know.
States is one and it's over there. And
I
then
know.
Europe, like it's all close.
Every state should count in the US. It should count as a different country. Some of
Yeah,
them are
absolutely.
some of them are different countries.
I know.
So you've been on the road and stuff. What is something on the road that you cannot do without? I'm not talking about a pack of strings. I'm not talking about extra picks. I'm not talking about extra guitar. I'm not talking about your tuner. What is something on the road that you have to have that may not be anything to do with music, but it is something that somebody's going to hear you say and go, he's right. I have to bring that on the road.
I will upgrade on my next tour. I get earplugs for sleeping because
Yes.
people are snoring like lots, and I am a light sleeper. But I was like, yeah, whatever. I don't know. I'll be tired. And no, you wake up. So earplugs gonna be my top of the list.
That's a
But
great one. Earplugs. Earplugs to save we were talking about how important sleep is.
yes,
That's
exactly my
perfect.
point. Sometimes you don't have much sleep, so you have to make it count.
There was a member of New Disaster. That's the band I was in when I met you. I'm not going to mention who it was, who would snore so bad. And I didn't have earplugs, but I would every night go to the bathroom and grab some toilet paper. And every night I had like toilet paper on me somewhere. Then when we went to sleep, I was like rubbing this up and just shoving it in my ears because I get it. That is a fantastic answer, Al. Fantastic. We all know that you should be having earplugs with you on tour because of this video here that I'm going to go ahead and share that one too. Always have your ear protection with you on tour. So no excuses now.
There you go. See, perfect.
One other thing, tips for somebody just starting out. I think my channel kind of is aimed more towards people that are just starting a band, just trying to get it together, or people that have been in bands for a while, but maybe they're starting something new and they want to take their band to the next level. I saw you started something from nothing. It was just you in your flat playing an acoustic guitar, showing me those songs, and then you turned that into something. You turned that into something that is touring. You turn that into something that's making records and playing shows. Any tips or practical advice you have you would offer somebody?
You better believe it. Believe in yourself. Yeah. Like if you have something you truly believe in it, there's nothing gonna stop you. Right? Like this is for me, like this is how I see it. Like I believe in my music. It makes me feel better, makes me feel great, and I love every bit of being on the road and all of that. Even the stressful moment when you have to prepare everything, and prepare everything means merch design, tour designs, posters, promo, content, all that is stress the hell out of me. But if then this leads me to playing shows, meet new people, being on your podcast and all that, being on the road, and you have something to say, or that you believe what you're saying and what you're telling the story, I think that should be your drive, like you have something to say, then say, do it, and don't let anybody talk you down or like Red at Night, I was, okay, I can say my age. I started at 40. So 3 years ago, at 40, people don't do this usually unless they're already famous and they can just allow themselves to do something like that. But I was like, no, I need to do this for myself. I want to do it and see where it brings me because I have story to tell and story I want to tell. And I believe in my music. I really do. Just like I believe in what I'm doing. I think for me, it's good stuff and I'm getting better, I think. And I want to get better, keep getting better, like until I can play or sing, until I have something to say that I think is worth to share, then I'll keep doing it. So if somebody have this same drive, then just go for it. And if you believe it in what you have to inside, or
I think that's fantastic advice. And you are not the first person that I've heard say something like that. The fact that you believe in something, and if you do believe in something, then you'll make it happen. And I can tell you and everyone watching that that's what happened with you. And I watched you turn that into something, like I said, the hardest working guy in punk rock right now. You're going to the United States, you're making friends with all these amazing people, you're making these connections, you're writing songs, you're putting songs out there, you're touring, you're doing your thing. And if that isn't the proof that all you have to do is believe in what you're doing and then put some action behind it, I mean, Al at Red at Night is the proof. Everybody take notes on this guy. Al, I want to thank you so much for joining me on the Woodshed. I am so incredibly honored that you would come and talk with me and take time out of your hardworking, busy schedule to talk to your old pal. And
no, it was absolutely my pleasure, buddy. Thank you for having me. And we organized it in like 5 minutes, maybe.
we did.
We
did.
did.
We
You
are
asked
on
me, I was like,
WhatsApp.
yes, sure. When?
And I knew you were busy. And as soon as you're like, hey man, this is my time, I'm like, I will make that. It's done. Boom, boom, boom. And nobody knows the time and effort it goes behind creating, these podcasts. But with you and me, there was no time and effort at all. It was just like, okay, cool, 5 minutes. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Tomorrow at 7. Let's do it. Yeah, cool. It was absolutely fantastic. So thank you so much for having me. And it was an absolute pleasure. And I hope that people enjoy what I had to say. I had a fantastic time. So this hour and something flew by. So
I know. Well, that's us talking. We always have these. Well, thank you,
how we
Al.
do it.
And everybody be sure to check out Al. Like I said, I'm going to have all the links in the description. I'm going to have everything underneath there, the things that we talked about. Just go down there and make yourself silly following those links. We will come back within the Woodshed. Thank y'all for joining the podcast, and we will see y'all next time.